Every time I play the songs, it brings me back memories of times on stage and his presence here on earth and presence in concert with me. So I miss my dance partner. But when I play the songs, it brings back good memories, not bad ones. So yeah, I love doing it. That's what drove me too. I love getting a reaction from Michael, from Madonna on stage. She turn back and look at me. So, I know I'm doing something right, Drumming is a power you've been granted with, but all talent is a power that you've been gifted with.
Unreal.
All right, man.
That was amazing.
Thank you so very much.
Ladies and
Thank you very
gentlemen,
much.
the man, Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffett.
Cool.
Well
All right,
done.
thank you.
Well done. And thank you so much for coming to Drumeo.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm glad you invited me.
Yeah, well, anytime, man. We've been chatting back and forth for quite a while, I think, and I'm glad we finally got the opportunity to come to bring you out here and to showcase some of your skill and experience. Now, Jonathan, if you guys don't know who Jonathan Moffett is, he's a legend. He has been the touring drummer with Michael Jackson for so many years, but not just Michael Jackson. You've also toured with Janet Jackson, George Michaels, Madonna, even Elton John. Like, you have quite the resume.
I've been blessed. I say I have the greatest manager of all time and of all ways. I have God as my manager. I say I have the greatest agent of all that you can have. I have Jesus Christ as my agent. So all these things, I say that because all these things came to me. It wasn't like I had to go out and hustle and get audition and run around and chase auditions all the time. Every time the phone would ring from somebody who heard me at a different show with a different artist, it would just come to me.
Really?
And they just wanted me to do it. It wasn't like a big audition situation, except for a couple of times, with Bruce Springsteen and Billy Idol, it was an audition kind of thing. So, but other than that, I say my manager, my agent was on point.
Yeah, it's amazing. And all the experience that you've had from playing massive shows, recording with some of the best artists. We're going to pick your brain today in today's lesson. The lesson title is all about from the bottom up, how you lead your grooves with your foot.
Yeah.
And you have an amazing foot. I've just been watching your technique from down here, so I really want to dive into that. Before we do, though, make sure you follow Jonathan online. You can find him on his website. It's www.jmdb.world. Or you can find him socially at Instagram and Facebook. It's at jmoffatmjm. You can also find him on YouTube, which is just his name, Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffett. So make sure you follow him because he's posting a ton of great videos and clips and news and updates. You've got some cool things happening too.
Yeah, I'm trying to embark on different things that promote myself more. And now I was a little lax about it before, more really enjoying the ride of the shows and the tours and the records and stuff. But I said, you know what, I need to start really promoting my own craft and my own sound because I have music that I'm going to be introducing soon of my own original arrangements and writing, songwriting, and producing. So I need to start promoting some things of my own at this point in time,
Yeah.
And so working on my brand. My brand has been working for 39 years professional now. And working the elements of the marketing of my brand. So I'm doing more of that now. And with my beautiful partner, Hamara Hisami, my fiance, she does social media. She's from Silicon Valley, and she's been helping me branch out and reach the world in wonderful ways. So it's been a blessing. And
well, you're killing it. You're absolutely
so much.
killing it.
Thank
Make
you.
sure you follow him, Instagram and Facebook at jmoffatmjm. Before we get into it, I got to get you to play another track. Do you want to do another tune for us?
Yeah, I like to do that.
All right, let's do it. Killer job, man. That was amazing.
Thank you very much.
It's so
Thank
cool
you.
sitting right here and watching you play these grooves, songs that I've listened to for so many years, time and time again, and I'm watching the drummer play them. So it's very cool.
Got me reminiscing of the times with Michael, you know, when I played it when he was there in the physical. So
Yeah.
every time I play the songs, it brings me back memories of times on stage and his
like
presence here on earth and presence in concert with me. So I call him my dance partner. So I miss my dance partner. But when I play the songs, it brings back good memories, not bad ones. So
Yeah.
I love doing it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, let's pick your brain a little bit, if that's cool. Just talking about your foot technique and how you developed it, how that has kind of been brought into the shows that you played and the songs that you've recorded. First up, how did you get the nickname Sugarfoot?
Well, I started playing drums when I was 6 years old, and I really wanted to be a bass player. So my father asked me, my brothers, we wanted to play music, and my brothers being older, they got first choice. So my first brother said guitar. So my dad, okay, fine, great. My second brother said bass guitar. I said, man, that's the one I want. So then only the other thing I knew was drums. So when he got to my name, and he called me up and Jonathan, what you want to play? I said, I want to play guitar. He said, oh, we can't have all guitarists. Somebody got to play something different. I said, all right, I'll play drums. It was like the little boy thing. And I'll play drums because that was really the only other instrument I was fond of that I knew. And so I got stuck with drums in a way. But finally, so after learning rudiments and the coordination and the challenge mentally and physically it was to accomplish the beats and everything. So when I took like 9 months of snare drum only with a private teacher at his home on Saturday nights. And my brothers and they took their lessons. And so I wanted to be that bass player, still was within me. So when I started learning records, off of records, especially the Motown records with James Jamerson Sr., who was prolific with his fingers. He was amazing and very musical and fingers moving and just making melodies. Anyway, I related that to the bass drum because of the low frequency of the bass in the bass drum. So I started learning the records. I said it would be really even better if it was more full, these songs were more full or bottom end. So what I started doing, I'm learning the songs, I'm learning the beats, but I started also hearing and picking up on the bass lines and figures. So I started combining the bass line figures, which was most times out of line with the bass drum. The bass drum is more simple, and the bass line's filled in, and it sounds so full. So I started mimicking and doubling what the bass was doing. So, and to be able to do that, I had to get my foot really fluent to do both patterns, you know. So that's how, through time, learning different records, different songs, and learning the bass and the bass drum parts, it became one fluent, cohesive thing. And it became natural to me to do that, you know, as I'm listening to songs and stuff. So, and then accenting with the bass drum as well. So that developed my style of playing from the bottom up, so to speak. And for my desire to have been a bass player, which I never learned to really play. I had basses and stuff, but I was so in love with drums, I just never got to practicing it. So,
Right.
So I found out drums were my first love instead of bass, but I still love bass. So I include them in my patterns and my playing, getting fluent through all the years of learning these songs and combining both parts. And it became a natural thing, you know. Some figures and things I had to work on outside of what's on the record, you know, roughs and different things on the bass drum and 32nd notes, quarters, 64th notes, different kind of things. So I had to work on those figures and transitions and where to place them in the groove. I'll demonstrate some of those in a little bit, but that's how I got the name for Sugarfoot, and that name came in the second band I was with. My brothers and I had a band when I was young, very young, maybe 10 years old, and we had a band called the Cavaliers in New Orleans, Louisiana, where I'm from, and we played clubs. There was a club called the Desert Sand, and a very, very popular club. But I was this 10-year-old boy, and so what they would do, they heard us audition, and they said, like this. So this kid is too young, but the owner said, okay, we got to have you guys. I'll tell you what, you bring him through the back door and sneak him in. And they brought my little kid in there, and it'd be okay as long as you keep your eye on him. Don't let him have to go by the bar. My mother and father was very supportive, and they said as long as you don't go by the bar and don't let the women get him. No, just kidding. So I said as long as you don't go by the bar, get him drinking and bad things like that, it's fine. You guys keep an eye on him, my brothers. So I would play this gig, this little kid, you know, in my big sticks and my little drum kit, and then we'd finish, sneak out the back door, and load up drums in the car. And I was so tired as a little kid, I was lay across my brother's laps in the back seat and kind of fall asleep or fake falling asleep. and listen to them say, "Oh, little kid was killing it tonight. Oh, you sound great." I'm like one eye open, looking and listening, and taking it all that. Yeah, this is cool. You know, I'm just taking it all, playing like I'm asleep. But I did do that. But then they handed me some money. It was $5 or whatever it was. I said, "What's this for?" And they said, "This is where you get paid." I said, "You get paid for this?" And it was a shock to me. I was like, "You kidding me?" I'm like, "You kidding me? You get paid to do this? I love doing this." I was just doing it for fun. They said, "No, you do get paid." So that's how it started off. That band, my brother's own band, wanted to play in this other nightclub, was very popular. And so that club owner said, "No, he's too young to play there. He can't play there. So we can't take the band because he's too young." So my brothers fired me and got this other friend of theirs, drummer, to play with them, to play that club. And I was so disenchanted. My own brothers fired me. I had the name on the bass drum, the Cavaliers with this sword. I used some like masking tape to make create this bass drum here. And I was so proud of it, you know. And so they fired me. And so I didn't want to be in the bands anymore. There was another local band named The Spectrum, and lived nearby. And the leader of the band knocked on my door, my mother's door, and said, "Hey, we want you to play drums with us. We heard you play. We love the way you play. We need a drummer." And I said, "I don't want to be in no bands anymore. I'm tired of getting fired and stuff like that." So anyway, he talked me into going, "Just come jam with us and we see it works out, you know. Maybe you could just play with us until we get somebody else." So I was adamant not being in the band again. So, but I said, "Okay, I'll come play with you guys and until you get somebody." Went to this house nearby, not too far away, and set up and we played and we jammed and they were like, "Oh man, it's great. Your foot is amazing." So I was like, thank you. But I'm still not joining your band. And I was like that, you know, "I'm not joining your band. I don't want to be in a band."
Sure, yeah.
So he said, well, I tell you what, everybody in the band has nicknames, and we got to give you a nickname. So I'm saying, all right, Ace or Duke, yeah, you know, Galactus or something like that, crazy, you know, Titan. And he said, "Okay, I know what we call you. Your foot is sweet. We call you Sugarfoot." And I said, "What? No, I don't want Sugarfoot. I'm not going to answer the Sugarfoot." He said, "Oh, yes, you will." I said, "I'm not answering the Sugar." I was like, "I'm not answering the Sugarfoot. I don't want that name." And he said, "Oh, you're gonna answer to it because every show I'm gonna announce you as Sugarfoot, and nobody gonna know your real name." And I was like, "Oh man, this is messed up."
That's awesome.
So that's how the name at shows. They started announcing me as Sugarfoot at shows and at the clubs, and people knew Sugarfoot. And I walked down the street and they said, "Sugarfoot," I just ignored him.
Yeah.
You know? And then it took a long time, even out here. I must tell you this shortly. Recently, last week, people don't know Sugarfoot and Jonathan Moffett is the same person because we encountered that my fiance and I last week. They thought it was two different people.
You're kidding?
Yeah, I'm not kidding you, man.
Well, I love the name. I think it's great, especially talking about your foot. You know, you have such a sweet foot.
Thank you.
I think it's really cool. I'm glad that you accepted it and that we can call you Sugarfoot.
Yeah, cool. Michael called me Foot, and all the brothers call me Foot. You know,
That's great. That's great. Well, let's talk about your foot then. Let's show us your technique. Talk a little bit about how you developed it.
Okay. Basically, I developed it as I explained it by listening to both parts, and then I started getting into more quantized kind of figures. That's loose. That's more loose. Hear it? Watch it. Quantize it up. Quantize.
So, if you didn't hear what he was saying over top, he was playing a little bit loose. Then you were quantizing it, tightening it up a little bit there.
Doing more like 16s relative to 16 to 32 second notes, and I started doing it more like 64th notes, kind of tighter, real, almost like rough, doing those notes, make it like a rough. So that's I call it quantizing the groove, you know, the figures, and make them loose or tighter, just closer together, of course.
So, what kind of technique would you call that for your foot?
Somebody told me once that they thought I was a tap dancer at one point and decided to play drums. But trust me, I'm not a tap dancer. And if you ask me to do that across the front row, I'll mow over the whole front row, falling into the audience. I cannot tap dance.
Yeah.
But if you want to call it tap dancing on the drums and on the bass drum, yes, I think you can relate it to that. But it's just, I'm going to tell you something. It's the physical action of it. But the physical action comes from the spiritual action and the mental action. I hear the figures in my head. I feel it and have this like emotional photograph in my spirit to make me recognize what kind of figures it is and the emotion behind that figure and that pattern.
Right.
And what I do is my signal goes to my body to try to work out the coordination of recreating that, what I'm hearing and I'm feeling. It's always a combination, trifecta, so to speak, the body, the spirit, and the mentality. So you cannot play what you cannot think of. You cannot play effectively and emotionally what you can't feel. So it's a triad, whatever you want to call it. It's a three-part, in my physical sense of playing, three-part spiritual thing. So I would feel it, and I would come up with patterns like that, or different other patterns that I'll do, like the Funky Blue Shuffle, and I'll come up with those kind of things. So I'd say the most important things is listen to drummers, especially if you want to call me unusual, that I use the bass drum more. Listen to drummers like myself, and there's a lot of other drummers that got quick feet,
Right.
But there's another Sugarfoot, was Ricky Wallman. He used to play with this band out of Washington.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
Wellman, Ricky Wellman
right.
used to play with Miles Davis as well. He got a fast foot too. Now I don't know his technique, but we were similar in styles. So listen to drummers that have a different accentuation in life and of their life of playing drums, and try to learn some of that thing to just be distinctive from other drummers. Those are the things that set you apart. You can play a million things, but the artists are looking for somebody with a distinctive feel that's different, that makes it feel really great, or this unique pattern of playing, a style of playing. That's what artists are mostly looking for, those kind of things. And people who are disciplined, that don't overplay. And there's according to the artist what it is. Now many artists are allowing more freestyle playing. When I was coming through, Michael, Madonna, George Michael, Elton John. Elton John was more jamming, rock and roll, but George Michael, Madonna, and Michael Jackson and the Jackson Brothers, you couldn't play the stuff that the drummers are allowed to play now.
Right.
So I came from the discipline world, whereas it's all about the vocalist and about the words and the music and the melody and the song. To total it up, it's about the song. So I can do a lot of things, but I don't because it's not necessary. But I focus on taking the techniques that I have and making them simple and make them be punctuations or accentuations or highlights within the grooves that I'm playing by throwing a few of those rough kind of things in there, throwing a few different patterns on colors. If you notice, I use a lot of colors and accents on the hat to emphasize patterns. I'm mimicking the shaker on Shake Your Body Want to Be Starting Something. There's a shaker on there, but I'm mimicking with it. So it came into my spirit. Okay, I'm gonna highlight that because it's a good element. Now playing that hi-hat thing in conjunction with the foot thing moving so much, it's a deeper concentration that you should have or can have, for the younger drummers out there. Professional drummers, they know a lot of this stuff, but for the younger up-and-coming drummers and developing drummers, these are things I'm explaining to you. So
yeah. Well, you mentioned there's kind of three aspects to it: the mind, the spirit, and the physical side of it. Let's talk about how you'd practice that. How do you practice your mind and spirit, or develop that? Is that something you can even do, or is that just with experience?
Yes, I would say it's hard to, unless you develop and learn from drummers, once again, like myself, who feel spiritual. When I play, I feel spiritual, and people recognize that. That's why a lot of artists hire me, because they feel the spirit of my groove. I feel with an attitude. You can play, like Billie Jean is a perfect example. Okay. Billie Jean is basically a very simple beat. It's like, scene like that, it's like that. Now, when I play it, the difference in Ndugu, I played on the record, so I'm gonna give you, once again, this is the pattern of Billie Jean. Now, the way I play it is with emotion. recognize what I'm doing in a sense to describe this is I'm holding the bass drum back just a hair fraction that gives it that emotion. And the snare and hats are pretty much on, but the bass drum that defines where the funk lives. And it would be like Billie Jean is so simple and there's so much space. You must remember, within space, there is space. So all of that space I have to play around to fill in on Billie Jean is I fill it in with emotion, not figures and other rhythm patterns. I don't do nothing but keep it straight like that for Michael. But I fill in that space of the holes between the kick and the snare with emotional space, and that makes me feel to lay that kick back just a fraction, and it gives it attitude and spirit and meaning, and it makes people feel it because you see them bobbing. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you hear them feel that, all the way in the back. So that's about playing with the emotion. Right. When you fill in the space with a lot of notes and stuff like that, it's hard to make it emotive. You can't feel it as much. It becomes more science, which is incredible, amazing, which I believe. But I'm about the spirit of music. It's about the groove. I'm more of a groove first person.
Right. So you're holding your bass drum back a little bit. And it's not that I'm thinking I'm gonna hold it back a little bit. That's what I should do. Just feeling it.
It's emotion. I feel it should settle because I'm using to identify that my emotion, my spirit, to know where this should settle here. And that's where I feel it, and that's what one of the things that got me to working with Michael. He loved that aspect, especially Billie Jean was his most important song to play live, and he said nobody plays it like you because your spirit it's just different, and stuff. So because I focus on spirit when I'm playing, everything is about spirit. I mean, there's techniques and different things I'm doing, colors and some flash things, but as far as the groove and what I'm there to play for, the patterns, I'm playing about the spirit and about, communication, because the first language is drums in the world, a band, and this is just an advanced technique of language.
Right.
And drums is the very first language to use for communication.
Yeah, you're right. I love it. Yeah. What about the physical side, though? I know we were talking a little bit in the back before the lesson about what you did to develop it. What do you recommend for drummers out there to develop that kind of feel, or that even the power and the endurance and the speed?
Well, first of all, you have to have patience. You have time. You can listen to other drummers that inspire you. Some of the things I'm doing, some of the patterns that other drummers are doing on the bass drum and on the hands as well. But it's not going to just snap on like a light switch and come to you. You got to spend time with your drums. Very important. You have to spend time with your instrument, lots of time, to get to know it and it to get to know you, and you become one, two become one. So you can express together and relate and emote together to the audience that's listening to that, paid money to come see you, stuff. But I think the most important thing is to spend time with your drums, not so much with a band yet, but all the time you can with your instrument, so you can become one with it and develop the vocabulary with it, and then you both can speak as one. So I think practice was my favorite time, and I would just get in there and just start somewhere and end somewhere eventually, and spend time with my drums and get to know it, my instrument, and be one with it. So, I just can advise that more to trying to do that, and try to develop your style. Learn from other records and other people too, like I did, but then always add something here and there. And places that you feel that this color here would be nice and this would be great, or twist it around and make it yours. And eventually, from adding all these different styles from the people that you studied and listened to and practiced on, you develop your own language in drummer. Then people identify it as your sound, and you become somebody that other people will be studying and listening to, trying to become like you. So that's another thing I express, to try to make it individual, because we're all individuals and we're trying to make our own sound, our own voice, and our own language on our instruments, and it's a fun thing to do, to discover yourself. It's a really great and enjoyable thing to do, and discover I can do this. I can say what I want to say at will on my instrument, and that's what I have fun doing. I can express myself at will.
I love it. The song "Want to Be Starting Something" you played in the very beginning, that's got a very active bass drum pattern. I remember when I tried to play that for the first time, I'm like, how the heck do you do that? How did you develop that?
Well, I knew the song was there, and that it was a big hit, and I knew Michael wanted to. Of course, I had to replicate this thing live. So I listened to the song and studying it. I noticed that the pattern on the drums was really cool and different. And as I mentioned earlier, that hi-hat part is basically mimicking the shaker. So So I felt that should be accentuated more in the record and in the live performance. So I started doubling it. But beyond that, the bass drum part is like this. Let me show you how it goes on the record. That's what's on the record. It's simpler. I felt that for live, it has to be more energetic. It has to move more. I said, and then knowing my favorite thing to do is mess with the bass drum parts. I said, I'm going to add another bass drum beat in there to fill it in, and it becomes one continuous thing, more or less. Now, this is what I did to it to make it move more. I wanted it to keep pumping and moving and excite Michael more. So I did it like this. I filled in that space, that hole, with another beat that helped it be continuous, like a hypnotic thing, chanting kind of thing. And then of course, I added the accentuations on the hi-hat to mimic the shaker. So that's how I developed it in order to a better emotional thing live. To excite Michael more, and he turned around and he's like, yeah. He liked that pushing. He liked to be pushed, and makes his artistic abilities come up and do things he didn't think he was going to do. So,
well, I know when we were talking, you said at first you had trouble playing the whole thing in one go. You'd have the endurance. How did you push through that threshold, and what kind of tips can you give us to get that kind of speed and control?
Well, I did that at home, and develop it before we started the tour rehearsals and stuff like that. I was speaking earlier about when you're playing, and all drummers, we all have it. I had it in the beginning when I do my locomotive thing beat, and then when I do this want to be starting something beat, it was you feel that burning sensation in your shin and in your ankle, and you start feeling it and you start struggling more. And what I found to do, once again, be patient. Nothing comes quickly, nothing comes easy that's difficult. So I started practicing and I started going for a while. But then, after the 64 bars or whatever like that, I started feeling the fatigue in it. And also another important thing is to do it with definition and power all the time. Now, my foot is doing dynamics, when I do it. So it's kind of swinging a little bit, but do it. In other words, you don't want people to think you did that as a mistake. You want them to know that I meant to play that way, and that's why you hear it that way. So my thing was to play with authority. Don't make it light, make it strong. It's got to be strong, so it won't sound like a mistake or you barely doing it. You got to be very powerful, very strong, because it's got to command the rest of the band and command the stage. They're counting on the drummer to be the strength of the band, the strength of the artist. So I was not only practicing the figures, I was practicing with deep concentration of having power and authority playing the figures, which gives more burn. You want to get out that Bengay, that Tiger Bomb, that Tiger Bomb, put that copper fiddle or something. You got to put something on there. That thing's burning. It's on fire. But you work with it, and I found that each day, as I push myself through the burn, I go, oh man, I can't do it longer, but I'm going to do it longer. I go a little bit longer, and then every day, I would do a little bit longer. And the next day, I'd do it a little bit longer, and then there's like that all scary threshold when it burns so bad, and you say, my leg's about to fall off. There's brush fire in my calves, in my legs. So call the fireman. But anyway, you get to that point, that ceiling of that, I found that if you get beyond that, that's the worst it can be. There's got to be something bright on the other side of it. I think I can keep this going. So I started working on concentrating instead of on the burning. I figured out a psychological thing. Concentrate on the figure that you're trying to accomplish and do. And if you think about, man, my leg is burning, I can't take this. Oh man, what am I going to do? I got to stop. But distract your mind. Its own power of the mind is powerful, man. It's really, you don't know what's inside your head.
Right.
It's a computer, man, and it's adjustable, it's flexible, and you can control it. You're supposed to control it, and you can control it if you learn how to distract yourself. And the power of a distraction is very, very beneficial in beneficial ways and positive ways. So I learned to distract my burning sensation on my foot by saying, I've got to keep this figure going no matter what. They're counting on me. So I would feel the burning till like I had to just stop. I got to stop. But I said, no, I'm not going to stop. The will comes on you. If you can get past that to that certain point of the threshold wall, then you let it be supplemented with the will to do. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to stop. I got to push past it. And you're going to suffer a little bit. But I guarantee you, in a bit of time, whatever is different from everybody. It takes me. People ask me how long it took you to get to that point of the threshold, get beyond it, or get to be continuous through the pain. And I say I can't say that for certain because it's different with me than it's going to be different with you. From individual to individual, what you can stand, your threshold of pain tolerance. What how much you can stand, as opposed to what I can stand. I can stand quite a lot. I've taught myself too mentally to put the barrier up there and think and feel beyond that and keep the concentration. Like I say, distract myself with the concentration of the gig, of the job, and what I'm doing, the pattern. And so I distract the pain from that. That's what you have to learn how to do. Control your mind, body, and physicality. And your body you can control with your mind control by thinking of something else, something different. You'll feel the pain still there, but when you distract your mind and focus really intently on the other thing, the hi-hat part, the snare part, the tom part, then you realize wait, my foot is still, like I've realized now my foot's still going, but I'm figuring out what I'm doing with the hi-hat and other parts. So the power of the mind is what I'm trying to say is very, very powerful. And very beneficial to you if you spend time with yourself, with your drum, and push yourself. Don't be afraid of pain.
Well, it's funny. I get a lot of emails from students that'll say, I started practicing and then it started to hurt, so I stopped. That's what you got. You want to keep pushing through that, right? That's why you develop. Do you want to play a solo? I want to see this in action again. Now, we've been talking about your foot, your technique, and how you practice. Play us a little solo so we can kind of see what you do.
I'm going to do something I do all the time. Everybody knows me about it's called the locomotive, and I'm going to do that. And it's sort of continuous pattern, like I want to be starting something. But this is, I come from New Orleans, I was playing this beat. And once again, I added more beats to it to make it more continuous. And this is locomotive.
insane. You kept that foot going the whole time.
I've done it.
The locomotive.
I filmed it and recorded it. I've done it for 43 minutes straight.
You're kidding.
I got it on video, so
Holy cow.
I'm working on my concentration.
So if you guys want to know how to practice your foot technique, do that for 45 minutes straight. Unreal.
But anyway, that's what part of what was developed from that technique. I burn, trying to keep that thing going.
Yeah.
But I heard that figure and I just knew spiritually it was possible. I could do it.
Yeah.
But of course I didn't start. I played slow just now. I used to play it faster than that.
Really?
But in my younger, years.
Sure.
I'm not gonna make myself look back in front of you guys. All right, trying to do it fast. Okay? That's fast enough for you right now.
Yeah, that was great. It was
Okay.
great. Obviously, with technique, you just put the time in. You listen to a lot of records, listen to the bass, try to add a lot more burning or pushing through the burn, that threshold.
Yes.
All that kind of stuff. But one thing I haven't asked you about yet is you talk about leading grooves with your foot. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, like your approach to writing? And you have a really cool blues shuffle, the funky blues shuffle that I want you to show us and maybe explain how you lead that with your foot and how you think of creating grooves from the bottom up.
Yeah, I'm from New Orleans, and mostly New Orleans drummers are known from their foot. And strong foot, syncopated foot. All the figures in New Orleans are usually very syncopated, So I grew up in that style. And of course, New Orleans knows that blues and jazz. Played some blues down there. I'm not the most versed jazz player. I listen to some jazz. But I was so caught into R&B and pop and funk, And so, but I do know a little bit of jazz. But anyway, the funky blues thing I developed off of, strangely enough, off of Sly and the Family Stone's Sex Machine. They got this song called Sex Machine.
Right.
So on Sex Machine, when I played in the clubs with my bands in New Orleans, they wanted me to take a solo. So I had to figure out this thing to take a solo with. So basically, it's a pattern that I do. And it's similar to what's on the record. It's built in foundation off of what's on the record. But I started doing a shuffle thing with the bass drum, and it goes like this. So like the record. Kind of pattern,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Those
Thank
quick
you.
little doubles, that's like a 30-second notes almost.
Yeah. That kind of vibe. Yeah.
So I can see like your hands are basically doing the same thing. Everything's led from that foot.
Yes, exactly. Leading off with the foot. And it's more ground-based kind of figure.
In your experience, you see a lot of drummers that start from the top.
Yeah. Most drummers in my era, and not even today, are hand-driven, the speed and power of the hands, Single notes, double bass. Some double notes, I'm sorry. But in New Orleans and the way I grew up listening to being a fan of the bass. Yeah. I grew up with leading with my foot, so it's more of those kind of things.
Right.
Patterns, maybe. That's just something on the top of my head.
Yeah.
What did I start off with? The bass drum. Yeah, the stutter.
Right.
3, 4.
Very cool. Very
So bass drum, things like that.
changes the whole way you probably write and approach.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
it's a different kind of thing, and to make melodies with the feet, with your foot,
Right.
I try to do that. I think melodically with my foot patterns,
And it also stems from wanting to be a bass player too. And you singing, you did a cool little a groove when we were doing sound check, and you came back into the studio. You were humming a song to it. I'm like, this will be a
Yeah.
great song.
I started writing right there
You
because
started
that
writing on the
beat.
spot.
Don't ask me what that beat was. I can't remember. I always thinking of things off the top of my head, and then I heard, I guess the recording or whatever, and I heard it, and I was like, wait a minute, that's a good. I had to think a bass line for that, and so I was singing a melody to it. Writing at the time, I didn't have nothing to record it, so it's gone in the air.
Oh, no, we recorded it, man.
Oh, cool!
Yeah,
cool,
I'll send
cool.
it to you.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe I
hopefully
can
we'll
make
hear it.
something out of that. It was funky though. It was cool.
Yeah. So before we kind of wrap up, there's some questions I'll get to, but what kind of tips can you give to the beginners out there, or even the intermediates who are really wanting to develop that funky foot and to take that approach from the bottom up? What kind of advice can you give them?
Same thing as I did. Listen to bass players. Learn bass players' figures. Combine that with the bass figures that on the record. You want to learn, be accurate for the record. After you get that down, you got the record pattern, that you're necessary for to do the gig or whatever. Start experimenting on your own and learning the bass patterns and incorporating it in the beginning, leading off with the bass. If the bass note starts before the bass drum, bass pattern starts off a little bit before the kick drum hits. Do whatever the bass drum. Now remember, the drums is like this. So do the leading off things like that, or things after the bass pattern, after the drum pattern, and incorporate those, and it actually will match with the bass player. You're basically enforcing what he's doing.
Right. And another thing, I just listening to you play acoustically here, you're not just playing one note on the bass drum, you're playing, or one volume. Your dynamics are all over the place, which is good.
Yeah, because it's music. It's not just one volume, steadfast. It's got to be dynamic to make it float and feel. That's where the feel comes from, the dynamics of things. I play a lot of times. Actions like that, it makes the song.
And I know a lot of our students and a lot of drummers out there, they all like exercises and sheet music. But the one cool thing I like about your approach is, and we talked about this earlier, you don't actually read sheet music.
No, I don't read at all. Unfortunately, that's not bragging. There's nothing to brag about. I'm actually, kind of embarrassed about it because all these years, I've been professional for 39 years, I should say, and I never learned to read music, and I should do that. I do intend to take that up, but I was working so much, and it was working for me, working so much, so I say, okay, I don't need to do that now, I'll do that later, and it became to now. And something I do want to tackle, and it prevents me from doing a lot of work and from movie soundtracks, a lot of jingles and stuff that's done for commercials, stuff like that. But I did work with Richard Marx on his Jingle House, doing songs for radio and stuff, and Patrick Leonard, who I started with him, with doing jingles as well. Then they turned over to Patrick with Madonna Records. Richard Marx were doing 3 of his albums, and it was patient because they wanted my feel and my style and my touch and my approach. But I do advise you to learn to read music and know how to read, because it'll get you more work broadly across in the studios.
Big time. Yeah. But it was just really cool to hear that you didn't have those exercises or those books that you went through. You just listened to music and you just practiced and you played, right?
It was about desire. I heard what they were doing on the record. I said, my thing was this, I said, if they can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
I felt as though I'm capable of doing it and replicating what they do. All I have to do is copy what they did and have the determination to I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. I don't care how much time it takes I'm going to spend the time because I want to get better at what I do. I want to get progress. I want to feel and see progress and hear progress in my playing. And I want people to appreciate what I do. That's the main reason why we play. We play for self-gratification. But the real reason why we play because we want to play in front of a lot of people, see what they feel about what we're doing.
Right.
Am I relevant to them? And do they enjoy what I'm doing in my voice and language and music, my style? Do they hear me? Do they enjoy it? Am I getting a reaction from them? And that's very rewarding, that's better than money, better than anything, So, I mean, that's what drove me too. I love getting a reaction from Michael, from Madonna on stage. They turn back and look at me. So, I know I'm doing something right, And from the audience when I see them bobbing and weaving, And even I say that drumming in music, especially drumming, is a power you've been granted with. But all talent is a power that you've been gifted with. I say from God. I believe in God. So it gifts you and anoints you with something to set you apart and give you advantages in life. And I feel the power of what I do. I can play Billie Jean as simple as it is, and it may not impress a lot of drummers, but all the people in the audience is going to be, and I can look farthest back in the top bleachers of the stands, and people are dancing.
Yeah.
And especially on the breakdown with Michael dancing, it's just he and I, we dance partners, and it's just he and I at the end of the song. And I realize and recognize the power of that beat, that people are doing like this. Now, Michael's dancing now. He's thrilling. He's a real thriller. He's thrilling them. But they're not dancing his beat like this. Dancing to his dance. They're not bobbing their heads to his dance moves. They're bobbing their heads to my drum beat.
Right.
And I feel the sense of power of that. Is that I can move you. You're sitting, maybe not half a mile, but far distance.
Sure.
Because we play some big stadiums, like 130,000 sometimes.
It's crazy.
So it's like to me a half a mile.
Yeah.
But you can see the people at the farmost reaches of the bleachers, and they're moving. And I said, my power is that I can make them move without laying my hand physically upon them.
That's crazy.
It's the power of the spirit and the soul that I can animate them from that far away.
Sounds
and that's
special.
The power. It's very special.
Very special. I love it. I wish we could go on for another 2 hours because I have so many questions. I'm going to get to a couple questions that the students have, if that's cool.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of wrap up. Brian Fraser Moore is watching. He says, Sugarfoot. He says, how did you maintain your career for 39 years? And you're killing it.
Like I said, I have the best manager and I have the best agent anyone and everyone has and can have. God is my manager, and Jesus Christ is my Savior and my agent. Because my career is sustained so long because things were directed to me. I put in time with my playing, and I believe in my playing. That's why I'm still here. I don't say I just all on faith. It's about my playing. I believe in myself. I believe in my playing. But I do feel the presence of something beyond me, or hanging around, hovering around my career that makes these things possible. Because people out of the blue would call, even when I just finished one thing, here comes another call. Or I think about when I got with Cameo, I said, man, Be Yourself, their new single was on the radio in my car. I'm like, man, this is a great track, man. I was with my family. I said, I wish I could play with them. I've always wanted to play with them. The drummer would do some great beats. I could play that stuff really good. And then I said, no, but I can't. And they said, why you can't do it? I said, man, the leader of the band is the drummer, man. I can't, he's the leader of the band, and he's singing. I'm going to do that, man. They're not going to take me. He's got this job, and he's the leader. He never give up that job. 2 weeks later, the phone rang, and Larry Blackman was on the phone calling me, and like I said, miraculous things, and saying, hey, Johnny, I would like you to play with Cameo. I said, Cameo, you the drummer. He said, yeah, Johnny, I'm going up front now. I'm a friend up front now. I need a drummer, and I need you to come on, come with me. I said, when? He said, tomorrow. I need you tomorrow. We're in the middle of a tour. I need you right away. I saw you with the Jacksons at the Omni Theater in Atlanta. I need you to come right away. I said, wow. So things like that prophetic happen to me all the time. I think of somebody, and then I'll get a call from that person. So it's a power beyond me. And like I said, I have the greatest managers and agent.
There you go, Brian. If you want to keep going for 39 more years, get his manager.
Now, have the faith. Keep the faith and the belief.
Here's a question from Brammy, one of our members, and I know we're going to get this question on YouTube and for everyone else watching. He asks, how important is it for what you wear on your feet for the bass pedal, and what do you prefer?
Oh, yeah, that's very important. I wear smooth leather sole shoes like these shoes. They're so played up and they kind of curve up at the toe, look like the witch shoes and Wizard of Oz, the one that got crushed by the house. So they look terrible. Don't look at them. Oh, you got the foot cam on. God, dog.
Yeah.
You see these raggedy shoes. But anyway, they look terrible, but they're so comfortable. They feel like I can't play barefoot. And I can't play in tennis shoes or sneakers, whatever you want to call it. I can't play it because my technique is slides. It's almost like I spoke earlier. Someone asked me about the tap dancing thing. I slide off the pedal to the left when I'm doing the faster figures. I'm like doing this. And someone also said your foot sounds like a Canon bubble printer, something like that, printing, just printing and printing. But it's a sliding technique that I use, and I need the smooth sole of the shoe to be able to use that technique. And I prefer to play thin-soled, smooth leather bottom shoes. Yes. Very important for me.
And if you see his shoes, because he's playing, you got your heel up a lot of times.
Yes,
you can see a little bend right where your toes kind of hit in your shoes. I love it.
Yeah.
2 last questions for you. Cool. Drummer Viking asks, was that opening solo taken from the concert This Is It? When you played after Wanna Be Starting Something?
No, it was just something on top of my head. I said go. I said I wanted to do a solo after that. Didn't plan anything, just making something up like that. And of course, just fluent, trying to be fluent. You got to practice also. One thing I did practice when I was coming up and growing up was that I don't want to have to think too much when I'm playing or doing solos. All of that stuff I did with the times and all that stuff was on the spur of the moment. I've done it before, but not in the same combinations. I want it to be like water. You turn the faucet on, you see the stream of water, but you don't see the drops. That's why my thought process and mental, physical, I want it to be. You can't see the drops, but you see the stream of my flow. So, and I want it to be to have access to do that at any time, at any song, fast song or ballad or whatever. I have that fluidity. So I used to practice that. I get on the drums and hit something and then go right into another thing. And another thing, aspect of developing that is, if you play a pattern or figure, with every figure of funk groove or whatever pattern you're playing, there's rhythms within rhythms, the body of rhythms. So you listen to the predominant rhythm or the one that's more attractive or pleasing or impressive. So you take a body of rhythm, then you take that inserted rhythm within that phrase, you make it another pattern.
Right.
So you keep learning how to do that and taking something within another rhythm and making a pattern out of it and grow it and add things to it, and there's a rhythm in there. You grab that and edit it out in your mind, and then you start doing that as a totally different pattern and start growing and adding things. And pretty soon you'll be very fluent at playing, because that's how I started doing it, by listening to what I'm playing in the middle spaces of what I'm playing, searching for rhythms within rhythms. And I take that rhythm within a rhythm, making a whole nother rhythm with it.
I love it.
And on and on and on.
Last question about technique, or about your pedal, sorry. This is from Mo Grooves. He just asks, how tight or loose do you keep the tension of your pedal, and does it matter to you?
Actually, this is not my pedal. Unfortunately for me, that's why I struggled a little bit today, as my pedal got lost last week after my rehearsal. My pedal had 8 years of playing and breaking in, and my spring was loose as it can get without falling off. It was so smooth and so incredible. But this is the pedal that we had here from Backline, so it's a little bit of struggle for me, but rather than my pedal. But it's smooth. This is a good pedal. But my real element is when I have my stuff, and I didn't touch the springs. I didn't touch it at all. I didn't touch the beater, adjust anything. I just got on and started playing.
With your pedal at home, if you still had it, what was the tension be like on that?
Oh, very, very loose. And that comes from not me adjusting things. I take a DW5000 turbo pedal out of the box, put it on there, and I can play. In time, it loosens up, it stretches, and it gets more flexible. And like I said, I had 8 years on that pedal, broken in. So it was my best.
Same spring the whole time?
Same spring.
You never changed the spring once?
Never spring.
Crazy.
Spring. And my best friend, so I lost my best friend.
Yeah. I know, it's too bad.
So anyway, this is a good pedal, but it's not my total element. So it's good. It's good though. It's a great pedal.
I'm going to ask, I know we didn't kind of talk about this, but I want you to do one more solo for us. Is that cool?
Cool. That's all right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we'll do one more song. All right, so take it away, whatever you want. Open solo.
Okay. I'll do some simple stuff. Yeah.
What am I supposed to say? That was insane.
Thank you.
There's many times when my jaw was just on the floor. That was so well done, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Didn't mean to put you on the spot, but man, did you ever deliver?
Thank you. I'm glad you guys know it.
Yeah. So I don't even know where to go from there. Thank you so much for coming out.
Very welcome. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Goodness. Yeah. I wish we could do this for another couple hours, but we got to wrap it up here, guys. For all the Drumeo members who are watching, thanks for coming out. We're going to be filming a couple exclusive things with Jonathan, of course, on breaking down some iconic Michael Jackson grooves, and we'll try to dig in more to his technique, talk about some of your tour experience and all that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Do you have anything, last minute things to say to the community out there before we wrap up?
Find your greatest passion. Follow that to your end of your dreams. That's what happened for me as a little kid. And I felt like this was meant for me to be. That's why I've done nothing else but this all of my life, you know. So it led me to my end of my rainbow, and spent a lot of time having fun and a great time of my life. So it's really rewarding when you can say, I spent my life the way I wanted to do it, and I had a great ride along the way. I continue many more years. I have plans to. And I want you to enjoy yourselves as much as I enjoyed mine. Pursue your dreams. Work hard at it. It's there for you. Reach out and grab it.
with my man Michael Jackson is smooth. You know half the man is like, so relax. Jingle, jingle in the jungle. From us to door, 3 and 4's in a bundle. This is the plan, first I feel it like a fan. Cover Janet, then we're guy, now with Michael, cause that ain't hard to. It ain't too hard for me to